Greetings YouTube, Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. This is episode number 101, and in this episode we're going to begin by going up the elevator, right where we fought Colax in the last episode and snagged the Dugtrio, and that will lead us into the room with Master Greevil on the other side of the glass that he put up a couple of episodes ago. And he's standing there with Eldes. Eldes! Sir? Who allowed this child to penetrate our defenses so deeply? What is the meaning of this? The others can't be counted on at all. I'm giving you the responsibility of dealing with this child. Oh, he is pissed, and he's going to float off in his magic chair, and Eldes is now going to confront us. You finally managed to anger Master Greevil. I thought I would end up battling you one day. ... But this isn't how I had hoped to face you. If we battle, it will only be unfulfilling and without meaning. Will you challenge me knowing that? Of course we will. Fine, I understand, but once we begin, expect no mercy. That is my philosophy. And so begins the battle with the Red Mystery Man, Cypher Admin Eldes. And actually, I think this battle is more difficult than the Greevil battle. Even though Greevil has more Shadow Pokemon, I think Eldes, just this battle in general, is more difficult for whatever reason. Alright, I guess we're going to just jump right into the thick of things here. He's going to start off with Ninjask and Manectric almost all the time, so you can be safe in preparing for those two. Now, I'm going to use a little bit of an interesting strategy, and that's actually to paralyze Ninjask and then leave it on the field instead of getting rid of it. Because I could very easily knock it out in one hit with Ninetales' Flamethrower or a attack from Electabuzz. Crap. I forgot about Manectric's Lightning Rod, so I guess it worked out that Ninjask used Dig because it wouldn't have hit him anyway. Alright, so now we have Manectric paralyzed. This thing is at level 44. It is a pure electric type, and it has a chance to have the static ability, but most of the times that I can talk. Most of the times that I have fought this battle, Manectric has had a Lightning Rod ability, so if you use an electric attack on whoever his partner is, or even try to use an electric attack on one of your own Pokemon, it will siphon to Manectric and he'll absorb the attack instead. Ninjask, it's a bug and flying type Pokemon. It's very fragile, so you can kill it with pretty much anything. If you've made it this far, you should be able to knock it out in one hit. But I recommend that you keep it on the field. The best way to go about this battle, because there are some crazy strong Shadow Pokemon coming up, and Manectric is easily the weakest out of all of them. But anyway, is leaving not Manectric, Ninjask out on the field. It will get its speed boost every turn, so even if you do paralyze it, it eventually will be faster than you because it'll have plus 6 speed. But leaving it on the field rather than facing two Shadow Pokemon at the same time is actually a little bit more desirable. And Ninjask likes to use Protect and Dig a lot, and Dig just isn't going to do a lot of damage. I think it also has Silver Wind, but Silver Wind only has 5 PP, so it's just not going to be able to last very long. So, let's focus on this Manectric getting it off the field, because then we can paralyze Ninjask once that happens. So, I'm going to go out on a limb here and try to throw an Ultra Ball right away and see what happens. And instead of paralyzing Ninjask, I'm going to burn it to decrease its attack. Because I have a feeling that it has Swords Dance. I don't exactly remember. And since I can't paralyze it with Manectric on the field anyway, I might as well try to give it a status condition. Alright, that didn't work out because he just decided to use Dig. This Manectric does have Shadow End, and that actually may work in your favor because Manectric can be fairly fragile, much like Ninjask. You know, you might be afraid of knocking it out, or if you do get a critical hit with pretty much anything, you are going to kill it. So having it weaken itself by using Shadow End isn't exactly a bad idea, especially if you already have given it a status condition. I'm going to try another Ultra Ball here, and he's just not staying in. He's not meant to be caught when he's in the green. It's just, I don't know. I thought I would try it. Why not? Dig on Zaprong. Again, super effective and doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and Thunder Wave obviously is going to get absorbed by Manectric, so that didn't do us a whole lot of good. But Manectric, again, is paralyzed and can't move, and that's already happened 2 or 3 times. Alright. I think I'm going to try the same thing. We'll go for a Thunder Wave, because I'd much rather paralyze him than burn him, because he will eventually die from burning. And I want to keep him on the field as long as possible. Alright, let's try another Ultra Ball on Manectric and see what happens here. Stay in there, Manectric. Come on. No. No, his health is just too high. Maybe he'll Shadow End this turn. Alright, so Ninjask went for a Dig again, and Manectric obviously is going to absorb that. Thunder Wave doesn't do anything, and Shadow End misses. This is just drawing out into a crazy long process. Alright, so I'm going to Ice Punch Manectric now because I'm kind of running out of options. I need to get Manectric off the field. We'll use a Super Potion with my other turn to give Ninetales some health back. Why not? And now Ninjask is going to go for Dig again, and that brings Zaprong down to about 34 HP. But he's already absorbed, what, like 3 or 4? Digs? I could not think of the word there for a second. Alright, so Shadow End misses again, thankfully, because that could have been dangerous if it did not miss. Probably would have knocked out Electabuzz. But regardless, now we have Manectric down into the red zone, finally. And he's also paralyzed, so he should stay in an Ultra Ball on the first try now. And after using a Moo Moo Milk on Electabuzz, we have Electabuzz back up to snuff as far as HP goes. And we're fresh, pretty much, with the exception of PP, obviously. And after all of that, this is only going to be 1 out of 4 of his Shadow Pokemon, so yikes. Yes, this is, like I said, a difficult and very drawn-out battle, and this is probably the only battle we're going to do in this episode, and I wouldn't be surprised if it takes over 20 minutes. Alright, the replacement Pokemon, once you either kill Ninjask or capture Manectric, is Salamence. Yeah, Salamence. The Dragon and Flying-type Pokemon. This thing is at level 50 with a crap ton of attacking power, so I suggest burning it, because the catch rate isn't that bad, honestly, for having a fully evolved a dragon Pokemon. It's really not that bad at all, so I do suggest burning it here, because otherwise Shadow Rush will just plow through your team. It's ridiculous. So there we go, we have Salamence burned. Do not use Ice-type moves, also don't use Rock-type moves. And don't use Dragon-type moves either, except maybe Dragon Breath, because that also has a chance of paralyzing. It's a pretty weak move. Salamence also has the Intimidate ability, so your physical attack is going to be lowered by 1 stage when he comes out on the field. Obviously, that didn't matter for me because I had 2 special-based attackers out here. So that didn't really affect my strategy at all. Let's see, we'll use another Super Potion. I might as well use these things because I've stockpiled so many items that it's kind of ridiculous. Alright, so now we have Ninjask paralyzed, so he's pretty much incapacitated. I mean, he'll be using Dig off and on and Protect as well, but there will be quite a few turns that he just won't be able to attack at all. And even still, he's moving kind of slowly. And yeah, just leave him there. He's not that much of a threat. Even with Dig being super effective on Electabuzz, it would take him like 4 hits to knock him out, so really not that worried about it. We're going to leave Ninjask there and then just focus on Salamence for now. Alright, let's see what I have here. I have so many items that it's ridiculous. We'll use a Lemonade, and yeah, that works. Ninetales back up to full health, and I might as well just throw an Ultra Ball here. We have Salamence down into the yellow range, and we should have about 4 turns or 4 tries at capturing him, and I really don't think it's going to take that many. I'm going to say 1 or 2 Ultra Balls will be enough. Stay in there, Salamence! Stay in there! Yes! Alright, as you can see, not that difficult of a capture. The key is lowering his attack, because otherwise, like I said, he will just destroy your team. Alright, Ninjask was paralyzed, so he couldn't move. And now we have the second and only, or I guess only remaining regular Pokemon on his team. It's going to be Flygon, also a dragon type Pokemon, but it also has a ground type, as you know, because we have a Flygon on our team. Okay, so we're going to go for a Will-O-Wisp here and burn Flygon. I mean, I guess why not? He might be using Earthquake, so might as well burn him and lower that attack. And we're going to get an Ice Punch off here, which will be doing 4 times the amount of damage that a normal attack would. And Flygon can't stand up to that, so the burn was really irrelevant there. Flygon goes down pretty easily. Alright, Marowak is the next Pokemon. It's a pure ground type. It's the evolution of Cubone from the Kanto region. And it is also a Shadow Pokemon. It's at level 44, so not quite as high leveled as that Salamence was. But this thing has, again, a crap ton of attack power. And I believe it's also holding the Thick Club, which increases Marowak's attack even further. So this thing is just ridiculous. You are going to need to burn it. Otherwise, because I think it knows Shadow End as well, this thing will just wreck your team. So, we're just going to call Electabuzz, why not, and Silverwind with Ninjask on Ninetales, which is a really stupid move. You should have done it on Electabuzz. But whatever, it's that genius computer AI. There we go. I can't think of any words today. I'm feeling retarded. Alright, so Will-O-Wisp was able to connect with Marowak there, so his attack is going to be severely hindered, and Shadow End still does that much damage. It's ridiculous. Thankfully, he connected with Shadow End, though, because that helped us weaken him a little bit. Most of my attacks are special. In fact, all of them are special-based with the two Pokemon I have out right now. Marowak's special defense isn't the greatest, so if I were to, by chance, get a critical hit, probably would have knocked him out. So this worked out nicely. And he's within a perfectly good range to be able to throw some Ultra Balls at, so why not? If he doesn't stay in this turn, should be in the next couple of turns. But nope, uncontested yet again. That's 2 in a row. Salamence and Marowak on the first try. And the next Pokemon and the last Pokemon he's going to be setting out is Lapras. It's the water and ice type Pokemon from the Kanto region. It doesn't evolve, obviously. It's only the one form. But this Pokemon has a crap ton, not of attack power, but of special defense and HP. So this thing can absorb a lot of hits. You can probably hit it with an electric type move, and as long as you don't get a critical hit, it probably is going to survive it with a decent amount of HP left. So feel free to try it, but the problem with that is that once you've made it to Lapras and gotten this far, you do not want to accidentally kill it, because things might not go the same way or as well on the second time through, because things happen. Critical hits happen, bad things happen, and Salamence especially might not be captured as easily. So, on the first turn, Lapras is almost always going to go to set up its Shadow Sky, so that's going to inflict a little bit of damage every turn on your Pokemon. I wouldn't really worry about that. You can always change the weather if you really want to, but at this point in the battle, it's not going to make that much of a difference. Also, with Lapras being the last Pokemon on the team, you're free to take out the Ninjask now, because you don't need to hold that spot for anything. So you might as well just get rid of it. It's pretty much just taking up space. So I'm going to switch out Electabuzz for Crobat here. Ninjask, again, abusing Silverwind, who's actually going to use it on a Pokemon that made sense this time, but I switched out. And there he goes. Stat boost. Of course, his speed won't go any higher because his speed boost ability has already raised it speed up to +6. A ridiculous number. Alright, so Heat Wave just doesn't quite knock out the Ninjask, but Shadow Sky is going to. So Lapras, you killed your teammate. What is wrong with you? The bad thing about fighting this Lapras is that it has Shadow Storm, and it relies mainly on its high special attack stat. Actually, its special attack stat isn't that high. It's not crazy, it's not Alakazam level, but it is, I think, a little bit above average, and that allows it to use its water and ice type moves effectively, but it also allows it to do a lot of damage with Shadow Storm. So as you can see, Ninetales ended up getting a critical hit with its Shadow Storm, but barely survived, and Crobat, almost half of his HP is gone after one hit from that, and it wasn't a critical hit, which kind of sucks. We're going to confuse Lapras and hope that maybe it hits itself a couple of times, because obviously the burn damage is what's going to be doing the most of the damage here. Because if it does hit itself with the burn condition, its attack is lowered, so it's not going to do nearly as much damage as it normally would. And of course, Lapras finds a way to work through the confusion and ends up hitting both of us with Shadow Storm there. Ninetales hangs on with 2 HP, which I'm proud to say that Ninetales has been tanking this entire fight. It's amazing. Alright, so I've got 5 net balls left, so I might as well start throwing them at Lapras now that he's below half health. And yeah, I should be able to capture him within 5 net balls. I better be able to capture him within 5 net balls, or someone is going to get punched. Stay in there. Yes. Alright, we captured all 4 Pokemon on the first try. Cypher Admin Eldes is defeated. We lost. Totally. Totally, dude. Yeah, you lost. Manectric, Salamence, Marowak, and Lapras are all sent to the PC. Our work here is done. Sort of. You are powerful, much more than I had imagined. If you aim to stop our plan, then you should keep going. However, the Grandmaster's power is probably far greater than you can imagine. I doubt you will beat the man. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I'm hoping that I'll be able to beat him on the first try, but I'm going to be trying to capture all of his Shadow Pokemon at once, so may have to do some resetting for that. Alright, so the item chest in the northeastern corner of the room contains a Max Revive. You're going to want to grab that. And what else is in this room? Oh, there's a scientist here. He's just kind of hanging out. What do you have to say? Thunderstorms above, Whirlpool is below. You have to be kidding, though. I don't stand a chance against a guy who thumped Eldes. Oh, and apparently he's going to battle you. I had no idea that the scientists in this room battle us. I was not expecting to do another battle in this episode. I was actually going to end the episode, but I guess that's alright. We have Cypher R&D Caller. Or Calais, if he's French. It's not a very French name, though. Okay, so we have a Zaprong to send out here, and a really, really weakened Ninetales against Corsola and Tentacruel. Corsola being a rock and water type, whereas Tentacruel is a water and poison type. So if you have ground types, that would actually work pretty well. Although they're both weak to the water types, if you can pull off an Earthquake, you might be able to knock out both of them before they get a chance to do anything. Downside to that is this is a pretty high level Tentacruel at level 44. And Tentacruel tends to be pretty fast, so you would need a quicker ground type in order to pull that off. Flygon would work perfectly, though. Thunderbolt gets rid of Corsola, and thank goodness for that, because Corsola is one annoying Pokemon. Corsola needs an evolution to become relevant again. But I say that about a lot of Pokemon. You need to get on that. With 6th generation, come on. Why does Mawile not have an evolution by now? Alright, so we got the burn condition on Tentacruel, and Corsola ended up fainting from the Thunderbolts. So now we have a Cradily to deal with, who is a rock and grass type Pokemon, so I'm going to go for neutral damage with Flamethrower. You can also go for Steel and Ice, which will be super effective. But obviously I wanted to use Thunderbolt with Zaprong instead of Ice Punch in order to get rid of that Tentacruel. So burning it, I guess, was kind of useless, but that's okay. Alright, and the next Pokemon coming out. Oh, Milotic. This thing is difficult. It's a special tank if I've ever seen one. This thing has crazy amounts of special defense. Milotic has to be one of the best Milotics ever. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. I swear sometimes I need to relearn the English language. Okay, what I was saying was that Milotic has to be one of the best water-type Pokemon in the game. This thing is awesome. It has great special attack, great special defense, and an awesome ability. It's called Marvel Scale, and it increases its defense by 1.5 times whenever it is afflicted with a status condition. So think twice before trying to paralyze it or poison it or anything like that. A lot of times it will survive solar beams, thunderbolts, thunders, all kinds of good stuff. We were able to hit it once before unleashing a thunderbolt, however, though, so we were able to knock it out. They're also very versatile because they can learn Iron Tail, Hydro Pump, Surf, I believe Dragon Breath, although I'm not entirely sure if in 3rd generation that was an egg move or not. Also, most of the time will come with an ice move like Ice Beam. Anyway, Milotic ended up going down, so we have Gyarados as a replacement. It's a water and flying type Pokemon, obviously with the Intimidate ability. We've gone over this a bunch of times because we've seen a bunch of Gyarados so far. So Thunderbolt should be able to knock it out in one hit very, very easily. Gyarados just doesn't do very well when fighting electric-type Pokemon. So all we have left is Cradily now, and he's going to die in between turns from his burn condition. So it actually paid off. Ancient Power. Are you going to get the stat boost? Nope. You're just going to get burned to death. Ha! That sucks. Cradily goes down, and I think that's it for this battle, actually. Indeed it is. Sweet. Now we can go heal because I need it. The correct answer is yes, it's Cinedark Isle. I didn't even know that he asked a question. Did he ask a question? Oh, well, apparently he didn't stick around long enough to answer our questions. Whatever. Alright, what else do we have in here? Nothing, I guess. Alright, well, let's go heal up before we do anything else. In the next episode, we are going to be fighting Master Greevil. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a very long episode. I'm thinking nearly 45 minutes, if not 45 minutes. But it's going to be great. So stay tuned for episode number 102. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I'll see you next time. Game on.